So we're going to talk today about how to be a teacher leader. And so again, we're just going to do groups. And then I will give you two, like these quotes so you guys can read over as a group and then just discuss it amongst yourselves so you guys will be a group and you two be a group. And then one is about an effective teacher, one is about effective leader. So just discuss amongst yourself, or read it and then just talk about what it means to you.
Can you see?
Someone else's great awareness of the great level, subject matter, even professional field, they are able to skill with changing to fit their own situation and using their classroom expander and faculty.
Effective teachers are all the same. Effective teachers are
Interesting. This is something using the internet nowadays.
I like that it says you have to be willing to learn and expect your students to listen.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
Oh, yeah.
You just have to learn. You can learn from your students. I need to be knowledgeable of what you're teaching. I guess you have to learn to go listen to.
Yeah.
After you learn.
Yeah, before you teach and during you teach and after. That's good. Yeah, teaching that all this stuff.
That comes saying a good thing in life.
Yeah. You know, like you have to go through it and figure out.
Yeah,
One more minute.
Yeah.
I think that's where if we're trying to be better leaders, our students will want questions. But as we try to be leaders and try to improve our students, will be able to benefit from that and be able to improve as well. The art and
Oh, yeah.
that kind of thing.
Alright, you guys good? Alright. So from what you guys read, what is the importance of being an effective teacher leader from what you guys read? Because you guys talk about a teacher, or you guys had a teacher? And you guys had a leader. So how could, putting those together, how could that help you be an effective teacher?
One of ours says that you're able to like implement a lot of work from other people and make it your own. So that's good with a leader or teacher. If you're like, if we observe other teachers, we can take what we like and combine it to make our own.
Yeah, take something that's old and apply it to what you,
Yeah.
what you best.
Something that I liked is at the very end that says leadership yields improvement as it relates to education. Teacher improvement leads to student improvement. Without teacher leadership can be no student improvement. So what I talked about basically is that if we are trying to be better teachers, our students will be able to benefit from that, and we'll also be able to improve.
Yeah. Right. With that, have you guys ever had an experience with a teacher who you thought was like an effective teacher leader, you know, someone that you really looked up to or admired? And what were some of the qualities that they had? Or like, I guess just name one quality, if you can think of a good teacher.
I think that they had different, like visual activities kind of for us to learn from, like or either videos or like different types of videos, like not some from YouTube or some like real life situations, and it kept it like in my own perspective, kind of related to me.
Nice.
Mm.
One more?
Yeah, and I had a teacher who really, he just broke he shattered the idea of like what a teacher was in my mind, like, you know, standing up in front of the classroom. No, he was on top of this. He was he was jumping around, he was active, he wasn't ever in one place. And so that's what I really liked about him, is that he knew how to lead a classroom, but he also knew how to break that chain of thought that, oh yeah, this is what
That distinction between teachers and like an effective teacher, or like a real teacher, I guess you could say. I love that. So it's important to focus, like what you guys pointed out, on student achievement, and how we can focus on student achievement is also by focusing on yourself as well. A lot of teachers focus so much on the students and they forget about their own improvement, their own education, and their own progression, and mastering the craft of teaching. So that, because what you guys read is that whatever you do for yourself will trickle down and affect your students as well, like we talked about in the other admissions lesson. And so there are some qualities of effective leaders, and let's go through. A leader has a vision for achievement, and then as they go up, we can just go this way and someone can read one as it goes.
A leader sets a good example.
A leader has the interpersonal skills necessary to guide a team of colleagues.
A leader motivates and inspires others toward mutual goal. A leader remains focused on goals.
A leader implements deadlines and achieves milestones.
A leader mediates conflicts between individuals and among divided groups.
A leader recognizes the importance of proper knowledge and skills and facilitates training.
A leader shares information and mentors young and less experienced team members.
A leader is well prepared and passionate and persevering.
Yeah. I love those qualities because it's all outward, it's never inward. And so the leader is always striving to better themselves by helping others around them and not thinking about personal gain or achievement. And so with that, the objectives is to, you'll know and feel the importance of not just looking at teaching as a job you have to do, but work to make a difference and live to work, because the work you do brings accomplishment to yourselves and your students. So you understand both an effective teacher and a teacher leader, and how to put them together as well. And so there's a clip from one of my favorite movies, Freedom Writers. I always use this video when it comes to teaching. If it wants to play or go to it. There it goes. Oh. Okay. So this. Oh.
You can't see it.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
How is it? Stay down. How do you put it on? You guys see it from here? If I turn the light off? Okay. The struggle. Okay. Okay, so when you're watching this, just think about how she has made a difference by not just being a teacher, because she didn't just come to just do her job, and the effects that she had on her students because she was a teacher leader. Oh, shoot.
As another excuse for why you can't make it. You made it to your junior year. Think about how you did that.
And she's not taking the
Everyone
credit.
in this room has a chance to graduate. For some, you'll be the first in your family, the first with a choice to go to college. Some may move faster than others, but you'll each have the chance. And you did that, not me. Now, I have one final project deadline. Yeah.
Miss G wanted us to put our diaries together in a book, just like Anne Frank. She got this businessman, John too, to donate 35 computers so we could work. She told us we had something to say to people. We weren't just kids in a class anymore. We were writers with our own voices, our own stories, and even if nobody else read it, the book would be something to leave behind that said we were here. This is what happened. We mattered, even if it was just to each other. And we won't forget. Miss G didn't promise it would get published or anything, but we could get it out there ourselves. She asked us to come up with a title, something to call ourselves.
Okay, so we're watching that. Okay, so how is Mrs. Durrell an effective leader from this clip from the reactions of her students?
She really learned about her students, and then she learned how to inspire them.
Whereas just a teacher would probably just show up to work and then present the material and then leave. But she actually invested time in them. What else?
She made them feel special and important. That's kind of something like that.
Something that they haven't felt ever from any teacher, because the teacher would just, their other teachers just didn't really care because of their history. So they felt important. Anyone else?
She motivates them with her words.
Yeah. She motivated them. I like how she didn't take the credit for anything that they did. That she motivated them and provided them the stuff, but she's like, you did that, I didn't do it. And so a leader doesn't take the credit or anything, they just give, and their goal is to be mutually yoked, I guess, the church term, and move forward in that.
Well, I liked one thing. I liked how she talked to them as people, not just down to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that as well. That's what I like about teachers that do that. They don't talk higher than you, but they talk because we're all learning in the same room. It's just, yeah. And so this is another clip of, this one is of a teacher who's almost like the same thing, but it's actual, kids. It's an interview. Shucks, it's not showing something. So, yeah.
Test question alert. Test question alert. Nope, in the big giant head.
I don't fall asleep in this class. I just don't. And it's weird because I can remember falling asleep in every other class.
I've never had a teacher like him at all.
Like calculus, every day, I pass out.
Like, he's probably one of the teachers, probably when I'm 75 years old, that I'll still remember.
RCs, I fall asleep in there all the time.
He's the epitome of what I think a teacher should be.
I need your father. You know what? I'll keep that. That's all it hurt. Okay, you go ahead and go get that table over there.
Mr. Wright has a key to the city. Yeah.
I just tend to fall asleep a lot. It's a bad thing, but I do. But this class just keeps me interested, so there's no room for napping because you're learning. It's like this guy is just crazy. He's just exploding with fun.
I don't know, you see a huge fireball burn in my hand and go up to the ceiling and all the matter, I'm not gonna have any kids sleeping and every one of those people are out there asking, how? As soon as you get the kid asking how or why, I can roll them in and get that intrigue going with his love of learning.
He says, I could care less about Newton's third law. I want to teach you something for you to take outside of school. That's what he's told us before, so. It makes me feel like he really cares about me, and I know he does. He's a good man, and he will go out of his way for you. Any last words?
Sorry, it keeps going.
That's where he dies.
But there's more to the video that like supports what I was talking about, but that would be enough. But so just from that, like the effects that he had on the students, like, what do you guys think about that?
I want to be in this class.
Right? You kind of reminded me of what you were saying. Your teacher's on desks. And so that was the question. Because of his example of his crafty teaching, how did he impact his students? And so.
Well, he could have taught those same things, but just like he could have gone really slow and boring and monotone, and it would have been the same thing, but they probably wouldn't have learned the way that they did.
Yeah. What I like from one of the students that said, like, he's a teacher I remember selling 5 years later or something like that. And not because of the fun things that he's doing, but also more in the video it talks about how he is very inviting to them. And so they feel like they can go to him for anything, and he's an effective teacher because of that, because of his example. And so I thought that was a good example. And so a successful teacher is an effective teacher. So that's a picture of So with that, I put that picture because it talks about how important it is to better yourself and to remember that, because as teachers it's so easy to get run down, by parents, by the district or anything, and to feel like you're inadequate and everything. But as long as you remember to always strive to better yourself, because you can't leave yourself, then you can help your students to see that because that you're trying, then they can try it as well. So, yeah. And then, so I want to read that for me.
Every teacher wants to be successful, but if you want to become a professional educator with a successful future, if you want to be happy and recognized as a person who makes a difference in the lives of others, begin by making an impact on your own life.
That was exactly what I was saying. And then the next topic is a leader is an effective teacher. So this is just a cartoon of showing different types of leaders. So we have the visionary, the operator, the compromiser, drill sergeant, cheerleader, coach, windbag, or that was pretty fun. So. So why is it important to be a leader when it comes to education and striving to become a better teacher? So we looked at the qualities of a leader in the beginning, and this is also a table of teachers and leaders. And I guess you can answer that question after we go through this table. But we'll just go through the leaders. Just a couple of key points I wanted to point out was they sit where they can learn. and they choose to do what they know is best, and they pay attention, are prompt, they have everything ready, they're prepared. And so they strive to just be prepared and to set the example, to be involved in what they're doing and participate, and don't have that attitude of like what the teacher worker is doing, says what am I supposed to do, but they're able to make decisions and help solve problems. So they're not sitting around waiting for someone to tell them what to do, but they're just going to go do it. And so that's important. As a leader, I feel, especially as a new teacher, because you're going to be new and then you're going to want to know, like, okay, what am I doing? But if you go in with a goal and with desire and with a mind, like a specific mindset, then you can be able to, you know, just go for it. And then your peers and your coworkers can help you along the way if they are teacher leaders. There's some teacher workers. So, a successful, effective teacher leader chooses. And so just by looking, I know it's kind of silly, but I like Disney. And so looking at this, how can we relate choosing? Why would it be important to choose as a teacher?
Because you can, every day you would have to like make a decision to, because being a teacher and leader would be, it's harder and you have to put more effort into it than just going to work and giving them the information. So if we choose the one around the riverbend, you know,
Yeah.
it's more complicated, but it's better.
Yeah, exactly. No, for real. Yeah. You take the smooth course and it can be all easy, but you're not really learning much. I feel like you're learning, but it's not really retaining, I feel. So. And there's power to choose. I never knew this when I was reading this, but there's a difference between deciding and choosing. And just a quick fact is decide, the prefix is off or away, and then the stem side means to cut, to kill. And so to decide is thus to cut away or kill, not a very happy activity. Deciders become victims because they allow other people to make decisions for them. So if you ever go, I know I'm a victim, when I go to a restaurant and I'm trying to decide what I want, and you're asking everyone else what they want or what they're getting, and then you kind of just go off of that. So you're allowing others to decide for yourselves instead of choosing. You're no, I want a double, I don't know. No. So yeah, leaders do not decide, leaders choose. Leaders have control over their own lives. They know that the good things in life come from what they learn within themselves. They generate their own happiness. Much of that comes from serving and sharing with others. Leaders enjoy tackling problems, obstacles, and challenges. Leaders are achievement-oriented. They have a vision that helps them see beyond their task or job. They know what the word choose means and how to use what we're supposed to get. So, teacher leader, they choose, they have control, and they know what they want, and they go for it. They don't allow others to dictate what they're going to do. They tackle things and they love challenges, and they go beyond their job than just doing what's asked of them. They go beyond the mark. And so this is just another table about how between workers and leaders. And so I'm guilty of some of the worker stuff because I can't wait for the weekend. So. But seeing the difference between a leader and a worker is really helpful, I think, especially as future teachers, to see how we can, prepare what kind of teacher we want to be. Either do we want to be a teacher worker, or do we want to be a teacher leader, so that our students can see that we're actually there to help them and not there to get paid. Right? So, in closing, now that you know the difference between a teacher worker and a teacher leader, which will you be? Will you decide to be a worker, or will you choose to be a leader? Who will be a leader? All right, closing. Becoming an effective teacher leader is and will be tough, but it will be worth it, not just for our students, but for ourselves. Teaching is the hardest thing you'll ever love, and if we want our students to succeed, we must remember that it starts with us first. So she's pointing to you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right.